Hi and welcome to English with Stuart. So imagine this, you're at a party, there are lots of English people there, and you start talking to someone, and they know you have a sister, so they ask you some questions about your sister. You know, you're having a good time at the party until this moment, because suddenly the English person asks you, what does your sister look like? What is your sister like? What does your sister like? And suddenly I don't understand. And it's common because these three questions to a native in English are really simple, but in reality, they're not because of the way that they're worded, using the word like. So we're going to have a look at all three of these questions and we're going to break them down. And that's what we're going to do today. But before I get started, click like, subscribe and share this video so that I can continue making other videos just like this to help you improve your English. So let's start. Let's start with the first one. What does your sister look like? What does she look like? Well, what we have here, let's look at the structure. So we have what, so we're asking a question. Does, before the subject, your sister. And that does, we know, is an auxiliary verb, so it's not the real verb. And then we have your sister look like. So what's the verb? Well, the verb is look. And when we're talking about look, we're talking about appearance. So we're asking, what is her physical appearance? Is she blonde? Is she brown haired? Does she have light skin? Does she have dark skin? Etc. What does the word like mean here? Well, it's not the verb. It's just asking for you to explain something. If we say, how does this food taste? We can often say, what is that food like? We're asking for you to make comparisons, perhaps, or comment on similarities. That's what the word like here means. It's nothing to do with the verb like. Then the second question asked here is, what is your sister like? So what's the real verb here? Well, we have an auxiliary, is, but in this sentence it's also the only verb. So it's the main verb of the sentence, is. What is your sister like? The like again is also for comparative, for explanation. So what is your sister like? Well, my sister, and you never say my sister is like, or my sister looks like. You don't say that because then you're comparing to someone. You just say my sister is brown hair, my sister is blonde. And with the second question, what is your sister like? We're asking characteristics, personality. My sister is a happy person. My sister is shy. My sister is very adventurous. And the third question, what does your sister like? Let's look at the structure of this one. So we have what? It's the opening part of the question. Does is the auxiliary verb before the subject. It's a question. We need an auxiliary verb. And when the auxiliary verb do, does, or did comes before the subject, in a question it is clearly just an auxiliary. It is not the main verb. So what does your sister? And then we have the word like. Well, that can only be the main verb. There's no other words in this sentence, so like has to be the main verb. To like. In other words, what things does she like? What things does she enjoy? Does she like swimming? Does she like paella? Does she like England? Or does she like the mountains? For example, so the answer, of course, to that would be my sister likes. My sister likes the beach. My sister likes studying English, for example. Now, one confusion here before I finish this is how is your sister? You know, when you compare to Spanish, ¿cómo es tu hermana? What you have here in Spanish is what is your sister like? Permanent features. Permanent features. The verb ser in Spanish. But when you have the how is your sister, we're asking in a temporary. ¿Cómo está? How does she feel? Is she better? Has she recovered from the illness that she had last week? How is your sister? So I hope those four in reality, 4 questions that you could be asked by a native English person that often are very confusing because of the choice of vocabulary. I hope that those help you. And I look forward to helping you in my next video.